How's it going, Starseekers? My name's Gotcake and welcome to this review for the third and final game in Astro Port Shmup collection, Wolflame, a vertical shooter where you get to pilot the experimental ship Siebold. In support of Operation Wolflame, you plan its final desperate attempt to fight back against complete domination by invading alien forces. As always, if this review helps you out, hit that like button and subscribe for future Switch indie game reviews. If you're watching this review before Friday the 22nd of May 2020, I also have one key to give away for the Shmup collection, which contains Wolflame, Armed 7DX and Cetasius Next, and I'll tell you how you can enter the draw for it shortly. So hitting the main menu, we have a few options available to us. Firstly, the practice mode, which allows us to pick a difficulty level and then select a level from ones which we've played previously. We then get to set up our satellite attack drones, picking the colour and starting level, and we also get to select how many plasma field bombs we want to start with. We can then hit start to jump into our selected level for a bit of a practice. Back at the main menu, we can select something called Tate mode. Now, I only recently learned what this was, but a lot of you veteran Shmup players will know exactly what this is. Basically, Tate mode allows you to play the game in portrait mode, as opposed to landscape mode with margins either side of the screen. Now, this obviously doesn't work in docked mode, but if you whip your Switch out of its dock and lean it on its side against something, you get wonderful full screen Tate mode. If you're a handheld Switch gamer and often play vertical mode games like Wolflame, then you might want to invest in this cool little accessory called Flip Grip, which I'll put a link to in the description box below. So back to the game, where our final option is New Game. I'll get on to the continue option shortly. Heading into a new game, we can pick from 4 difficulties. I obviously selected easy, and then there's a short loading screen before we see our ship taking off from the back of a carrier to begin its assault against the alien military installation. So as we begin blasting away at enemies in this first stage, initially we only have our ship's basic forward-facing cannons, but it's not long before we get our first pickup, which floats around the screen alternating between 3 colours, green, red and blue. When we collect this pickup, it'll give us a drone. We can have 2 drones, one either side of us, and the arrow on the pickup indicates which side the pickup applies to. The colour of the pickup gives you one of 3 drone types. The red one fires additional cannons and these red beams which worm their way across the screen seeking out enemies. The green provides huge laser beams which pulse outward every few seconds, and the blue drones fire these bluey red beams which lock onto enemies that they come into contact with. Now, you can choose to mix and match your drones or focus on a single colour. The different drone types are better suited to fighting different enemies. The red drones handle large numbers of smaller enemies better, whilst the green drones function better against larger enemies and bosses. The blue drone sits somewhere in the middle. Each time you collect an additional drone pickup, it'll increase the power of the relevant drone. This results in an increase in size of the green drone's laser, and an increase to the number of projectiles or lasers for the red and blue drones. If you decide you want to change drones at any point, you can simply collect a drone pickup of a different colour. It'll then switch to the new colour whilst retaining the power level of the previous drone. In addition to drones, you also have plasma bomb pickups, which you can activate by hitting the B button. These create a large plasma field which lasts for a few seconds, damages enemies and destroys any projectiles that come into contact with it. Now, the game features 1-hit deaths, and you begin the game with 3 lives seen in the top left of the screen. If at any point you're hit by an enemy projectile, you'll lose a life and have to start from the beginning of the level if you haven't reached a checkpoint. You'll also lose all your drones, leaving you with only your front-facing cannons to fight enemies with. Luckily, if you can hold off for a short time, a pickup displaying a plus icon will spawn, which will give you 2 drones with a few power levels applied to them. If you end up losing all your lives, you'll be prompted to continue. You get unlimited continues in the game and start at the beginning of a level with no drones and your score reset. Now, the plus icon pickup and the unlimited continues are a couple of features the game has to offer to make it more accessible to novice Shmup players like me. Another feature is the restart option found in the pause menu. This will allow you to restart a level from the beginning. You'll retain your score, and the lives and drones you began the level with will be returned. This basically means you've got unlimited lives, as you can pause the game as soon as you're killed and select restart. The game also features a save function, which allows you to save your game progress to one of 60 save slots. You can then go and play a different difficulty or another game and not have to worry about your progress being lost. When you return to the game, you can select continue from the main menu and load up your save game, resuming from where you left off. So as you work your way through the game's 10 levels, you'll encounter a wide variety of enemies, with different projectile fire patterns, and increasing the difficulty increases the frequency and travel speed of these projectiles. At the end of each level you'll face a boss, and there's some good variation to these bosses, the challenge that they present and their attack patterns. After defeating a boss, you'll get a stage result pop up, which adds additional points to your score for each of the gold starlight pickups you collected in the stage, and every 100,000 points grants you an extra life. So before I get to my thoughts on the game, if you're watching this before the date shown on the screen and want to win a key for the Shmup collection, then all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed and look out for a clue within this review and my reviews for the other 2 games in the collection. Now this final review is live, you'll find a video on my channel telling you how you can enter the draw. So as with the other 2 games in the Shmup collection, I had a great time playing Wolflame. Once again, it was a completely different gameplay experience, with its draw mechanics and vertical screen scrolling. I'd say out of the 3, Wolflame is probably the easiest and most accessible of the 3 games. This is mainly due to its restart option, which basically allows you to have an unlimited number of attempts at a stage. Of the 3 games though, I'd have to say Wolflame was my least favourite, and this is not to say the game is bad in any way, it's still a very enjoyable shmup. I just enjoyed the other 2 more, as Wolflame's mechanics were simpler and it lacked the weapon variety of the other 2 games. One potential issue for those looking to play the game on a higher difficulty is that your ship movement speed is pretty slow. Projectiles travel incredibly fast, especially on insane mode, and it's sometimes very hard to manoeuvre out the way of them. The only other criticism I have is with the game's music tracks, which got a bit repetitive and there's no sound options in the game to turn it off. So I rate games between 1 and 5 stars, with a shovelware stamp of approval rewarded to only the worst games on the eShop. This rating's based on my own personal opinion on what a game has to offer in terms of gameplay and value for money to potential buyers, and as a rating I'd give Wolflame 3 out of 5 stars. It's an enjoyable vertical scrolling shmup which keeps things simple and accessible, even to shmup noobs like me, and its gameplay is distinctly different from Armed 7 and Cetasius, making it a great addition to the shmup collection. You can get the standalone version of the game on the UK Switch eStore for £6.29, or from the US eStore for $6.99. The Shmup collection, which also contains the game, is available for £13.49 on the UK eShop, or $14.99 on the US eShop. Alternatively, you can also pick up Wolflame on Steam. And that's it for this review of Wolflame. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. As always, hit that like button if the review helped you out, and consider subscribing to the channel for future Switch indie game reviews. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, game on.